everyone, welcome back to Mature Minded Gamers. I'm Will.
And I'm Brad.
Today we're going to be talking to you about Aristeia from Corvus Belli, a sports show game.
The ultimate sports show game.
Corvus Belli universe. Infinity, my favorite miniatures game of all time. Not to give away too much about how much I love this game. But yeah, let's take a look at how it works and be right back with our thoughts.
All right, so here we've got a game of Aristeia set up, ready to go. We've got the neoprene mat as opposed to the cardboard mat that the game does come with, the same size and everything. The nice thing about this is it is double-sided. The only difference, though, on the other side of this board is the fact that you've got, I guess, really different colors. The weird thing about it is, other than that and these obstacle tokens kind of here, and here around, there's really not that much difference when it comes to the actual mat themselves. So kind of weird there. I kind of wish the spots on the mat were actually in different things. We've also got the Arsenal obstacle tokens, or the barricades and the obstacle tokens here from Arsenal. So very cool on that regard. But in Aristeia, players are going to be controlling a team of 4 characters in a spectacle in the human sphere. So again, set in the Infinity universe, check. Absolutely love it. Throughout the game's 5 rounds, players are going to direct their characters' actions, trying to meet the goals of the scenario. Most of the scenarios, you're going to be going and trying to control these spots, which are going to be moving throughout the game. Now, the first player to collect 8 victory points is the winner, and if there's a tie at the end of the 5th round, though, the player with the most kills will be the winner. So during a game of Aristeia, players are going to be taking their 4 character cards, which you have these little cards. These are like, I wouldn't even know what they call them, just the initiative cards, if you will. And you're going to be taking your initiative cards and placing them face down in the track on the bottom. Now, the player that has the lowest initiative value at the beginning is going to be the underdog, and that's going to be the person that breaks ties. So when you look at a character card, you're going to notice that there's 3 stats at the top. You got your initiative, your movement, and your energy. You've got your defense, your brawn, and your agility, as well as these triggers down here are what they call switches. You also have your player health in the top right corner. Being killed does not necessarily take you out of the game, just takes you out for that round or maybe 2. And when you come back, you're going to have a little bit less energy, which is going to be from a whole bunch of these tokens that come with the game. So let's go ahead and kind of give you a breakdown of a sequence here. Let's say you have Maximus has moved up here with his actions and taking control of this spot. Well, you know, we can't really be outdone, so we're going to have 8-Ball move up with his tokens here, and he's going to stop here, and he's going to initiate an attack. Now, with 8-Ball's card, you're going to notice here that he has a switch for 2 energy that is range 1 to 3. So he's going to be doing this face-to-face roll, and he's going to be taking an orange and a blue die. So he's going to take an orange and a blue die, and he's going to roll those dice. So when he rolls, he's going to get results. Now, you notice that he has defense results even when he's attacking. Yes, that does come into play, because when we look at Maximus's card, we notice that we look at his defense is a green, a blue, and an automatic shield. So let's have a green and a blue and roll those. And we've got a damage and a innate built-in shield on Maximus's defense stat. So Maximus is going to be hitting the 8-Ball character for 1 damage and no damage back to Maximus. But because of 8-Ball shields, he actually suffers nothing. Now, before the actual damage and the die roll for the conflict resolves, we're always going to resolve switches. Now, switches are going to be able to trigger as many times as you have tokens, but once you've used that token on the die face, you're not going to be able to use that for other triggers. So, for example, if we use this exclamation point here to displace the target, we can actually displace him 1 space in a different spot, so he's not in this control zone. I would not then be able to use the shield and the trigger here to displace myself, which would allow me to move 1 spot here. So since I can't do that, it would actually have no result. Now, the interesting thing about this game, and the fact kind of I just pointed out, that even though Maximus was being attacked, he can actually still deal damage back to 8-Ball. So let's say 8-Ball rolled nothing, and Maximus rolled a Starburst and a Blink, then Maximus's defense, if you will actually hit 8-Ball back, which is going to take him one closer to death. Now, each of these characters does come with a stack of 4 cards. Now, these 4 cards are going to be unique for every single character. When you actually build your get your team ready, you're going to take 2 of the cards for every character, so there should be 8 cards at the end. You're going to add those to your stack of the 10 standard cards. You're going to give those a shuffle, and you're going to be able to use these throughout the game when you want to do maybe special triggers like go all out. You're going to aim an action point. Now, an action point, what is that? Well, this character, Abal here, for example, has 5 energy. Or action points. He's going to be able to gain 1 extra action point, so has a total of 6. He can spend 2. Every character has the ability to spend 2 action points to be able to move their move stat. Well, 8-Ball, he's going to be able to move 4. So when he does this, and he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, he still has 4 action points remaining, meaning he can eat my Fa Jing. He's going to be able to do that twice as long as the target is still within range 3. Now, the interesting thing about that, at the end of the round and after all the characters have gone, the player that has is the only one occupying the control zone is going to score 3 victory points. The player who has majority, if both players have characters in there, is going to score 2 victory points. And if there is a tie of equal number of characters controlling the zone, then each player is going to score 1 victory point. Now, at the end of that, you are going to recover characters that have taken damage, maybe will be knocked out, and then the control zone is going to move of where the victory points can be scored. So this, again, is a little Warsenal little doodad here, just an acrylic kind of like template. And what you do is you're going to take something like this and you're going to mark the underdog, or the player with the least amount of victory points is going to place this in a control area that does not have any characters in it. Then play is going to proceed where now this is the control area that everybody's going to try to go to. That's going to be kind of an interesting dynamic, because once kind of players shift this way and all the characters are over here, and then the underdogs, maybe has 1 character here, they can place it here and then try to control the zone while, all the other characters try to go this way. So you've really got to be tactical on where you are, what you're doing, what all your other characters are doing. And again, just because a character is knocked out does not mean you're not going to be able to win, because games have come back. Now, there are a ton of other characters in this game. I mean, a ton, with lots of other expansions. So there's a lot of awesome looking miniatures that you can collect and pick up. I haven't done any painting on any of these guys, but one of the other neat things is you can buy different quote-unquote skins. Now, for example, this is the Maximus character, and this is the Maximus version in a metal model. So there's actually a card for this character, that one there. So this game is a lot of fun, and let's go back to Brad and I, and we'll tell you what we think.
I love this game.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely love this game. So let's first talk about the components. Miniature-wise, what'd you think?
I think the miniatures were great quality. I mean, great detail, the right weight. They felt like they were sturdy on the board.
So they're plastic this time. So Corvus Belli, with their Infinity range, is all metal. They just announced they're going to be releasing some in, I want to say it was a hip plastic that they're going to use, but they're very well known for their miniatures, their metal miniatures. And then when they have this game out, they come with the plastic models already built. I didn't have to do anything.
Thank you, by the way.
Yes, thank you very much, because then I could just take the components, put them out on the table, and play. I didn't have to spend hours building a model just to play a game, and then
mess it up, have to glue it back together.
Glue your fingers together.
Fingers together.
The components, the cards are fantastic. The dice are fantastic. The board, hexagonal movement, laying down, traps and things, or, like different blockades or whatever. So it was so much tactical depth in this game.
Oh,
what did you think?
Oh, yeah. It's tactical depth that is approachable. So like you, I played it with, introduced it to some friends for the first time. After having it for a little while, sat down at the table, and within 15 minutes we were playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super easy to play. I love the fact that you can just pick a handful of models, put the decks together, and boom, you're off to the races. I love that in games. Just give me some cards. I just want to play. I don't want to spend hours. Oh, should I use this card and this card and this? No, I've got options. Pick 3 cards, put in the deck, whatever. So an absolute blast to play. I did go through and upgrade my components. They do have the neoprene mat, which is fantastic. I absolutely love that.
Required. Do it.
Yes, absolutely. And I also did print up on my 3D printer some terrain pieces, which you'll see in the video. But
let me speak to that, because that, if there was anything that I wanted to complain about, and this is a very minor complaint, is that the mats themselves, they indicate where the barricades and where cover is going to be at, but without that 3D piece, it gets really hard to kind of picture that in my mind. So a lot of times, the first time I played it, I didn't have those 3D pieces there, where we completely forgot about cover. And so there were things that I did that weren't legal, things that other people did that weren't legal or wouldn't have worked. But once we played with your 3D pieces, oh my gosh, it added so much depth to the game.
Right, and you can even get components for that on Warsenal's website as well. We'll put a link to their page on the comments below. But this game is amazing. There are tons of expansions, so I mean you can get different groups of different crews to be able to play with,
and upgraded versions of the models.
Yes, so there's even different skins that you can get for each of the characters, which those are in metal, which you will have to put together. But just kind of add some more variation and versatility to the game, makes it a little just more pop, a little bit more for your copy. And I had an absolute blast with this, and I love the dice mechanic. I love the fact that when you attack and you could actually get hit back in the same turn, they actually took that same dice mechanic and Corvus Belli put that into their dungeon crawl, Defiance, and put that same dice mechanic into that. And I'm having a blast with that one as well so far. I mean, you know, Infinity uses the D20 system, which is awesome. And I love that they took ideas from Aristeia and put that into their dungeon crawl. So this game is an absolute blast to play. They actually came up with an expansion that we haven't played yet that allows for multiplayer. And I think that could add for some very hectic, fun games. I like the fact that when your character gets knocked out, he's not dead.
No.
I mean, he's going to come back, which is great, because a lot of times, oh, you got knocked out. Well, now I'm down, you know, one guy, and you've still got, you know, all of your guys, and I'm out, you know, I'm not going to have any chances. But your guys don't have that much health. So,
and that's where
you're going to have, like, they stay on the board all the time.
And that's where this felt like a sports game and not a I'm going to kill you game. It's a knocked out game. So you're in the arena, you're playing this, you're playing to knock out the other players.
Or capture objectives
too. But the point being is that this felt like diving into a game that what was a sports type game, or it was a game. It's a game. We'll put it that way. It's not like
Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's the best way. I mean, I know it's not. It has nothing, you know. But when I think of like that futuristic sports, I mean, I just love that. I was inspired to watch that movie.
It's like the '90s show Gladiator, right? You go in there and
American
Gladiators, and so you're in there with your characters, and man, it just was a good time. It's a real good time.
Now, the other sports game that that really comes to mind when I think about sports game is Guild Ball. Now this is. When you think of sports games, board games, this is completely different than Guild Ball. However, if you want something that is... If you like Guild Ball, I really think you should check out Aristeia. If you like Infinity, you should really check out Aristeia. It's got great components, great gameplay, a lot of tactical decision-making, and highly recommended from both of us.
Yes, two-way thumbs up.
So, all right, everybody, this has been Will and...
Brad
from Mature Minded Gamers. Be sure to check out all of our other great content on maturemindedgamers.com. We do video games, board games, and so much more. So hit that like and subscribe button and be notified on all of our great content. But until next time, everyone, stay safe and take care.